Summer is the time to see new things, to eat some really yummy food. It's always time to eat really yummy food. And to just be outside, soak up the sun, and, get any chance you can to get your outside time, especially these days with as much rain as we've been getting. Which leads me to my porch situation. If you've been following my videos, you know I have an outside garden. This is what it was looking like about a month ago. I was starting to have problems with all these tomatoes and strawberries growing, and the peppers not so much, but squirrels were really ravaging my garden. They were stealing every tomato, every piece of fruit, blackberry, strawberry. The mint and basil was totally fine, as you can see, but all the tomato, everything, these strawberries, all of them grew out and got stolen. And they were also being stolen by the squirrels before they were even ripe, which also just felt like a waste. It was one thing if I was contributing, but it was just felt like a waste. And so I tried by building this wooden bamboo fence. I tried to do this sort of interlay kind of trick, but it just didn't stop them. Obviously, I mean, the fence didn't end up working out at all how I had imagined it. Like, after building it, obviously you can look at it and be like, well, that wouldn't stop them. I thought maybe having some sort of barrier would keep them away, but they were very aggressive. They didn't care. I even tried these little shelves from my greenhouse, and they didn't care. They still moved stuff. The fence would be knocked over, and I was finding evidence all over of the squirrels just taking anything that started growing. So I kind of shifted gears and realized that I really needed to get some good structure going. And I built a sort of complete barrier around specifically the tomatoes. I put the strawberries in my little greenhouse, but I decided to make what ended up looking semi like the walls of Mordor around the tomatoes specifically, because the tomatoes were doing so well and it's bumming me out. I got the first tomato that grew on the plants. It was ripe, it was beautiful, it tasted great. But every tomato after that, I think I counted at one point, it was 12 tomatoes they had stolen. And this fence barrier did work temporarily. However, unfortunately, this summer we've had so much rain. This is an updated video of the backyard, or the back porch. The blackberries and cucumber, the fern is all okay, but the tomatoes specifically, they can't hang. The rain has been so much this year. I don't think the tomatoes are going to survive. We're getting some sunshine now, as you can see, so I'm hoping that they kind of come back around, but that's okay. I got a lot of tomatoes out of it. There's this big juicy jalapeno I found this morning. So everything's pretty much doing okay except the tomatoes at this point, and the strawberries have just not been happy since the squirrels dug up a bunch of roots and stuff. I did get some tomatoes, like I have these that have ripened and they're in the kitchen now. I'm going to use them soon. I also checked out this greenhouse that I've been told to go to a bunch of times, and they had some crazy stuff here. I will say I was not a huge fan of their pricing, but there was some really cool stuff to look at there. Here's a first staghorn fern I've seen in person, funny enough, and it was ginormous. I was really stoked about that because my neighbor does have a couple hanging outside, actually, so not the first I've seen, but those hanging outside are really small, and this one was giant. And then they had this sort of exhibits, this like big buildup at the center of the gardens, and it was just really cool. There were so many little things you could find inside there and see, and I found this little gnome guy, and there's just all kinds of stuff. And as I mentioned, it's always a good time to eat food, but summer specifically, I feel like we've been indulging a bit. I tried cold noodles for the first time in a long time. We finally checked out this noodle house where they make their noodles in-house, and it was delicious. It was so good. I was so happy. You can definitely tell the noodles are made in-house. I mean, they were just amazing. You got to add that chili oil, and as always, if you're a Probably Writing fan, Clean Bowl Club. Something sad happened to my favorite plant. If you've been watching my channel, you know that my Bursera tree is my favorite plant. Handyman came in because our essential air uh, went out, and he installed this AC window unit, but he killed the plant when he did it. He moved it. It was tied up to, like, because I was training it to grow upwards, and I had to cut it. I had to cut it. So this was about a week ago. It made me really sad, but I knew it would come back, and here it is now. This is how it's looking now, and it's really shot off. Cutting it, you know, promotes growth. It makes it healthier. Yeah, it's looking good. And then here's my bonsais. My bonsais are also doing well. Most of the indoor plant stuff is just doing great right now. You'll see that left guy is growing some crazy shoots out, and I had trimmed it back in one of my older videos, but I'm actually gonna leave it for now. I'm gonna let it grow, and I'm gonna repot it and cut it in the fall. This guy is still holding its shape. It's still looking good. I need to be better about spraying them, like misting them with my water mister, but they're still doing solid. They're still rocking and rolling, and you know, this was the first day that it had not rained in maybe like 2 weeks. We've been getting so much rain, it's been insane. So I took the opportunity and I watered everything outside, and it was really nice. And this is what I got at that greenhouse. Is a dwarf tree, and it's been really happy. I don't have a video of it when I first got it, but those top leaves up there are brand new. They've all just been shooting up. It's really digging this spot. I gotta rearrange everything because everything's still messed up. But that's pretty much it for now. That's my first summer update. Bean and Bernie getting some good love. They were very excited. I was home this morning, hanging out, doing the plant stuff. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. If you did, that's just my update for now. I'll have another one coming soon.